Oh my God, your poor dad.
Anyway, welcome back to Your Poor Dad. You can't choose your sisters, but you can choose your podcast. So thank you for joining us and being the fourth brand sister.
Welcome back, everyone.
Sometimes
Welcome.
we need a spare so we could
A spare sister?
Yeah, so we can cut you off.
cut me out.
Trade out.
I think I would love a show of hands of, 3 or more sister families who wants to get the oldest one out from time to time.
just from time to time, not permanently, not murder.
Oh, actually, side note, speaking of oldest sisters who are iconic and lovely, Kourtney Kardashian, I heard, is having like a redemption arc on Kardashian.
Really?
I need to catch up.
It looked like that on, now that I'm not working, I'm on
Liz
my phone
Woods?
all the time. And so I know what's happening on the internet.
Do you follow Liz Woods?
No.
Oh,
You should. Should I?
You should. She's a great follow. I think you'd love her.
Okay.
You
great.
really, really would love her.
Yeah.
I'm on my phone all the time now.
But apparently, and I'm just so excited to watch this episode. So remember the episode where Kim and Kourtney were fighting? And
What? They were fighting? Breaking news.
Kim said, we have a separate group chat that's called Not Kourtney, which, by the way, is like, honestly, that's like below the belt. That's something Paige would say.
No, but the thing is, we do have a separate group chat without you, but it's only because we send Wordle.
No, and you and Dad, you two and Dad are like so annoying and text sometimes.
Well, Dad created a third group chat. So we have the Brant group chat with everyone, and then we have the
sisters and Dad.
Yes.
Yeah, well, we have us and Dad, and that is strictly for karaoke songs back and forth.
Yes.
And then we add Mom in, and we send Wordle every day.
So I'm like
There's
only in
three
like
chats.
two.
You're in one.
No, there's like
Oh no, you're in. Oh no, there's a me
there's
and
like 5.
No, there's a me and Bailey and Dad chat.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's the karaoke one.
yeah, you
Oh,
Bailey,
but then
Dad,
You're saying there's a us 3 and
us
Dad.
3 and Dad, and then us 3 and Mom,
Yeah.
and then the Brants,
Yeah.
and then it's like the Brants minus Jade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wordle.
But it's because of Wordle, not because we're talking
And
about
I'm
you.
good. I mean, you guys could talk about me. I'd rather you guys talk about me than not talk about me at all.
No, we literally only talk about Wordle.
Bailey's face. Okay, well, where were we going with that?
Their fight.
Oh, so in that fight, which was so insane of Kim to say, and something Paige would 1,000,000% say to me, she didn't know that they were recording for the show.
Kourtney.
Yeah, Kourtney didn't know. And Kim knew, obviously, because the camera was on her. But isn't that crazy?
It's like so Kim of her.
But it's like, that's kind of like fighting like a little dirty on Kim's part.
Okay, but
Okay, here she comes.
don't
to,
you
like-
think they're all producers on the show now, right? Like, don't you think that that has to be signed off by all of them?
Well, I'm sure
Eventually.
it
But,
signed
like-
off eventually, but she didn't know while they were recording.
Right.
But it's her sister, so she's not like going to take her to court or anything.
Right.
I mean,
Yet.
she could if she wanted.
I also just wonder what it's like for them because I feel like take like Summer House. They know when they're in that house, like there's
everything's
cameras
being
everywhere.
recorded.
Yeah, they might not know what's going to be included, but like everything's being recorded.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if I would kind of assume if it's like in the window of our filming time that anything would be up for grabs. No.
No. I think like they have a lot of boundaries over what they film and what they don't. But anyways, let's get into it. What's going on with you guys? Bailey, you're out of school. You're a free woman.
I am the biggest party girl now.
You are?
Bailey-
I've gone out every night.
Really? With like your teacher friends?
I literally almost got a tattoo yesterday.
Really? Of what?
Well, that's why I didn't get one. But
'Cause you didn't know
someone
what
else
to
was
get.
getting one, and I was like, "Oh my god, me too."
Speaking of tattoos, side note. So
You want me to show my foot tattoo?
No.
Oh, okay.
Please, that's bad for our brand. I really, really am dead set on going to Eras in Indianapolis, and I
Okay.
think that's the show that Bailey should go to. And
we should get matching tattoos there.
and we no. So the way that tattoos come in is that I will personally get a tattoo of the state of Indiana because I love Indiana so much. If we can get a brand to sponsor us to go to the Eras.
And I will get a tattoo of that brand.
Right. So double trouble. And I really think that
And
we
Bailey
can
will
make
get
this happen.
Bailey will get a tattoo of the brand's logo
And-
in the state of Indiana.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I want to go to, and also I don't want to go to Miami. I don't want to go to New Orleans. I want to go to Indiana because I love Indiana so much. I love the people in Indiana. I think that Indianapolis is one of those cities that's like really small, but like the whole community rallies around events that go on. Like they are so pumped about the Indy 500. The whole city is like rallies around the Indy 500. They rally around the Colts. They rally around the Pacers. They just are like such a proud city, and it's so fun. And I like want you guys to experience that. And Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And we can go to a Purdue game.
I think it's crazy that we never visited you.
I know,
mean,
but you
I guess
guys were
it wasn't
so
'cause I was
young.
in
I did
fifth
one
grade when you
time.
graduated.
But you went and like, but you were still so young.
I was so young.
Like you
You
couldn't
went
go to the
there?
frats. Like that would be weird. Like when people
Like
would
I saw
bring-
your sorority house, and that was like so cool to me.
was it?
Yeah.
And my sorority house does look cool, but like on the inside it's kind of trash.
Well, that's also so interesting you say that, because like I was like walking in like this is like out of a movie.
Glorious.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's just like the movies.
All the bunk beds.
And then it was so weird.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's so
It was
weird.
so
Well,
weird.
because the thing about Indiana or Purdue is that we have cold air dorms. In some schools down south have cold air dorms, but a lot of
Sounds
them
like a tuberculosis wing.
I know. No, it literally looks like a tuberculosis wing. But like a lot of the houses down south, they have so many donors that I feel like they've gotten renovated, and they have like big, huge houses. So everyone has like a bed in their room. But our houses were so old. Like I think our house was built in like the 20s or like maybe even before that. And so there's like one big room with a ton of bunk beds in
Yeah.
it. So it just looks like you're like living in an orphanage. And I loved it so much.
It's a hard knock life for us.
No, it was literally like Annie. And I think it's funny because I grew up with obviously two sisters where it's like if you have something, like if you have a possession and you have more than one sister, that possession is not fully yours. It is of the house.
It is
Possession
our.
is 2/10 of the law or whatever. 6/10 of the law.
Or
Yeah.
you need to do a really good job of hiding it. Like those are just the facts. You either hide it, keep it on your person at all times, or you just know that when you come home, someone's probably going to be wearing your
Yeah,
new favorite
especially if
shirt.
it's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday Paige and I were shopping, and I was like, well, one of us is going to get that shirt because that's going to be our shirt.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think like I had that mindset in the sorority. So I was like, this is just like, this possession is not of me. It is of the world.
And you're like, oh, and the girl
And
next to
that-
me, I'm going to borrow that tonight.
So like people would come into my room because I shared a room with Shayna a lot, and Shayna was like a fashion student. She always had the cutest clothes, and it was always like nice, like Anthropologie. And, like literally, like I couldn't even like go into the Anthropologie sale rack. Like my clothes were shit. They were like lucky to even be like hanging on by a thread.
Yeah.
And so people would come into her room and just like steal her clothes, and I'd be like, okay, bye. Have fun. You look so cute.
Thanks for stopping by.
She comes from a house of brothers.
All brothers.
So
And
it's
she's
like
the
she's
youngest.
never had to share a single item of clothing ever in her life.
I know. And like, what's that like?
That's so
But
funny.
it's like I feel like I thrived in the sorority house because of that. Like I was just used to people barging in, like being annoying, you know.
It's funny though, because Shayna sometimes I forget that she comes from having all brothers,
'Cause she tries
because
to-
she is such a good sister.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all I have to say. Shout out Shayna.
Yeah.
Speaking of having to share clothes and things with people, I was reminded that I am a giant because we were like going somewhere, and for some reason we were gonna have to change our shoes. Like me and my two friends that are so small, and it's like, oh well, what size shoes do you wear? They're like 7.5. I was like, okay, I'm a 9. Thank you for reminding me, guys.
You know what? The one thing that really sucks about having like us is that we're all each a different shoe size.
Yeah.
Like I could probably squeeze my toes.
You
into
could
yours.
squeeze, but you wouldn't for ACL because it would hurt your feet too
Yeah,
much.
but I could for
But
like, a night.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like Gigi and you had the same. You,
Me,
mom, and
me,
Gigi.
Gigi, and mom.
Yeah, I'm an 8, and you're a 9. I'm like
And I'm
8.
big.
I'm like a 7.5.
You and
8,
Dad
8.5.
can probably share some.
Just slowly lurching toward your favorite city.
Yeah.
Well-
So, do you feel free from the children?
Well, oh my God, yes. But now I'm like in a chokehold of like binge drinking. So
Nice.
here's my beer.
Here's my beer.
Here's my Celsius.
It's a lot.
Well, I'm really happy that you're out of that school year because I feel like it was really stressful.
And you know what's crazy? People just keep sending me money.
Who?
Like parents.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I know, like
So they're like, have a beer on us. Thanks for dealing with our kids.
They're like, you earned this.
Yeah.
They're probably thinking, man, I wish it was still school
They're like,
days.
fuck, this is hard to be with this kid every day.
That's so
I can't
funny.
believe she did it all the time.
Paige.
Well, I have a funny story to say about mom and dad.
Okay.
Okay.
So we were all off on Monday for Memorial Day. So this is technically
Not us though, because we had a release on Monday.
Yeah, but we released on Monday.
We did. So technically 3:09 on Tuesday morning, I get a call from ADT security. Obviously that's scary. I answer. They're like, hey, we got an alarm from your parents' house. Do you know if they're okay? I don't know if they're okay. I am in Austin, Texas. So I say, thank you for calling. I'm
You
going
say,
to
hold on, let me wake up my sister.
No, I said, let me call them. And they said, okay, well, we tried calling your dad and there was no answer. So we dispatched units. And so I'm thinking, this is so serious. Like, what's happening? So that's when I try to call mom and dad. They don't answer. So then I wake up Bailey because I'm thinking, do I get in the car and drive there? Do I try to call their friends who are closer to go check on them? Like, I don't know what's going on. And they said it was a medical emergency. So is someone having a heart attack?
So scary.
So like, is it both of them? Is it just one of them? And because if it was just one, why wouldn't the other answer the phone?
Yeah.
But
So
it's not like they have like a pacemaker.
But
It
it's
would be
probably like carbon monoxide
That's
or
what
something.
exactly.
That's what I thought.
So then I'm starting to panic. I call ADT back because I'm like, what is the protocol here?
Yeah.
So they tell me that since they dispatched units, if something bad has happened, they have to make a report, call ADT back, and ADT would call me. So no call is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then mom calls me back 20 minutes later and she's like, first of all, we're fine. And I'm like, thank God.
Paige
Okay.
was already sitting there. We had a hair mask in the night before. We had like our hair in braids for like deep conditioning mask. And Paige is like yanking her braids out. She's like, I'm getting in the shower. I was like, why are you getting in the shower? She's like, I got to do something. I was like, why?
Oh my God.
I just felt like if we needed to jump and get in the car, like I probably needed a shower before that. So I was trying to be productive. Anyways, so mom calls and she says, so there's been really bad storms up north, right? And so the power's been out a lot. And so their power had gone out the night before. So, and I think it had been off and on throughout the day. So they decided that they were just going to bring dad's generators to the back door, which means all of the plugs that the generators, the electricity and everything, their backsliding door is cracked open. So the
Cords.
electric cords could go. So the door, it wasn't locked. So that comes into play. But these generators are so loud and mom's, going through menopause. She's always hot. So they had all these fans going on in their room. So it's really, really loud in their room and dad can already not hear. Okay. So mom gets woken up she just hears like, bad apartment. And she knows somebody's in the house. So she's hitting dad, trying to wake him up. He finally wakes up. He now hears somebody yelling in the house. So he sprints outside because mom can't. She's topless. Okay.
But dad was
with her
just
orangutan
wait,
titties out.
Then dad runs out in his whitey tighties.
threadbare whitey tighties, I'm sure.
From 1995.
No, actually, I confirmed with dad. I just think the whitey tighties is funnier because that's what he used to wear. But I guess he's changed to these like Costco underwear now that are like that are like boxer briefs.
Okay, good for him.
Anyways, so he runs out in his underwear to 4 firemen in the living room, and they're like about to walk up the stairs because nobody's answering them, right? Because they couldn't hear them, and they're thinking, they're now at this point, I can only imagine what's going through their head. They see all of these wires leading into this bedroom. They're probably thinking dad's like trying to kill mom or something. And so they explain the power went out, everything's fine, mom's fine, dad's fine. They get it like eyes on mom, like everything's good. Like,
Wait, did mom put on a top?
probably
Obviously.
not.
She's like letting her orangutan
She's like,
titties
guys.
flop around.
She's like,
What are
you
you
guys,
doing here?
I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna saunter down the stairs.
Thank you so much for checking
Oh,
on us.
you guys look so strong. I'm glad you're protecting us. Anyways, so it's just like that would happen to mom and dad.
Yeah.
And it's funny.
And mom's top would be off.
I know.
Mom's top is always off.
I know. And It's funny because last night they were drinking at their friend's house, and dad texted me. He's like, "Hey, sweetie, just wanted to let you know we're home," and they're sleeping in the camper, like the RV, because it's cooler in there because they still don't have power.
Really?
Yeah, it's been days. So dad still has the generator, so he's like able to like do stuff in the house, but it's more comfortable air conditioning wise for them to be in the camper. So he's like, if ADT calls you again, let them know we're in the camper. And I was like,
okay. Oh, they're just in the camper.
Yeah. Oh, because I guess the alarm went off. Something about the power going off and on or something like that probably just like tripped up the alarm.
Yeah.
So they don't know if it's going to happen again or not because they still don't have power. So they're like, hey, just let the security people know if they call. We're in the camper. I'm like,
or keep your phone on, psychopath.
Or answer your phone. I don't live there.
Yeah.
Anyways,
that is hilarious.
So funny. What's going on with you?
Not much. I'm trying not to drink because like I was having like, it felt like my mental health was hanging on by like a thread.
I love that.
So, and that's like normally not my vibe. It's more like your vibe.
Yeah.
It's where I'm getting.
What?
It's where I'm getting. It's like, let's get to summer, and then it's summer. And I'm like, everything's fine.
So I just was like, my brain was always so foggy, and I'm getting to that age where it's like, I really think I need to get my hormones checked out because like we have a history of thyroid problems. I have like a beard basically. And I'm just like, I probably have PCOS, like probably, you know.
Well, they always talk about that on TikTok too.
I know. And so like, I'm like, okay, I'm autistic. I have PCOS and what else?
ADHD.
Oh,
everyone has ADHD.
Yeah. So I've just been like taking a small break, which is hard because I love drinking. Like,
yeah.
And I'm not like somebody who like, I can't control it. Like I can go out, I can have like 3 drinks and I feel good. I think it's just like, I need to get something under control. So I've just been doing that. But I did go to 1010 last night and they had like actually the best non-alcoholic margarita. So if you're in Austin and you're like trying not to drink, that's like the place to go.
Nice.
But that's it. Like my life is kind of boring right now.
Another thing that I've been doing this week that I am really loving. So I'm binging Summer House, but I feel, and I love that. I'm getting so much enjoyment out of doing that, but like there's something that makes me feel guilty just sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
So I have a perfect little setup and I just walk on the treadmill for at least like
that's a good idea.
At least like over an hour.
I should get a walking pad and just binge my girls.
Like I don't feel as long as I'm on the treadmill for minimum an hour while I'm watching these shows. First of all, the hour goes by pretty fast. I'm on an incline, so I'm still getting like a good workout, but I'm not like running, so it's still like a pretty leisurely thing, and then I don't feel guilty like sitting on my ass the rest of the time,
right?
You know, so I've been loving that, and I'm towards the end of season 6, so
I'm so excited to hear your thoughts. I put on the finale this week with Mr. Roberts. Like I got to Mr. Roberts' house and I was like, hey, it's the finale of Summer House, like do you mind if we watch? He's like, no, go ahead. Immediately Lindsay
he's asking
and Carl,
so many questions.
No. Oh. Lindsay and Carl start fighting and he's just like getting so anxious and he's like, okay, that's enough. Like I can't, he's like, he had to tap out. Like Lindsay and Carl's energy were so toxic. Like Mr. Roberts had to tap out.
Me and Mr. Roberts are so opposite. because of Lindsay and Carl. That is why I started back at season 1.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is amazing. I need to see who these people were.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Roberts is just like, he's kind of like a healthy king. And like, I wouldn't be.
We love that for him.
I know. Like, I like that he was like, yeah, of course, sure, you can watch Bravo. Because I think most guys would be like, no, I'm not watching Bravo. And then he like tapped out after. And I was like, okay, he tried. Like, he tried. And you know what? I like that the fighting stresses him out because
honestly,
he's not a fighter.
Jax was really stressing me out at the early days of Vanderpump and I couldn't do it. Like it was too much for me. And I was also watching every episode.
Jax specifically?
Yes.
Not even Stassi. I am the devil.
Well, I like Stassi.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't like Jax.
Yeah.
And so when he was like so toxic, it was just too much for me. And you were waiting so we had to watch every episode together. Now you watch Summer House and I just like pop in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I'm available.
So you were on the season of Summer House where
it's Paige and Craig. They're getting together.
Okay.
It's Hot Hub Summer. She literally has a new guy every single week at the house. She's unhinged.
Which that would be okay if she wasn't so fucking annoying and
Mean.
weird. Yeah.
I think though, like, okay, would you rather be friends with, or would you rather have Lindsay in your friend group or Danielle in your friend group?
Lindsay.
100% Lindsay.
I really don't like Danielle.
I don't know. Don't you think it would be fun to have someone just like echo everything you say right behind you?
Well, okay, you know what? This is such a good question because last night there was the fight that I was watching last night was between Sierra and Lindsay over Austin.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the thing is, Paige is on Sierra's side, and Paige was being a really good friend. She's letting Sierra say what she needs to say, and then sometimes if Sierra maybe didn't clarify a point, like Paige would chime in and be like, what you mean to say is XYZ.
Yeah.
And
Meanwhile, Andreas cry because he misses his home.
and then Danielle. So the fight is supposed to be between Sierra and Lindsay.
Yeah.
And this bitch won't shut up. And
Yeah.
she is just like, she starts going out. So then Danielle stands up to like puff her chest at Sierra, and Sierra's not fucking having it. She tosses the drink, throws it at her. Like it wasn't even, Danielle, sit down. This
Yeah.
wasn't even about you. You took it too far.
Yeah, you're so annoying that
I
Lindsay
forgot
is
about
out of
that.
pocket and you're the one that's getting a drink thrown at you because
Yeah.
you cannot.
Or so annoying.
Because she keeps like echoing. She's like, don't let her talk to you like that. Blah, blah, blah. Like
that's where I draw the line. That's where I draw the line.
it was
Like,
so annoying. I'm like, you are the and then like the next day, obviously Sierra, she apologized. She's like, I took it too far. I should never get to a point where I'm throwing a drink at somebody.
Yeah.
And
Healthy
she's
queen.
apologizing to everybody. But it's so weird that she even that it got there with Danielle because it wasn't about you.
Yeah.
And you're being a bad friend by not letting, like, Paige was being the right kind of like backup friend. That's what Danielle needed to be to Lindsay, and she just wasn't. She was just always wrong.
Danielle just like, I think is she's not good at female friendships at all. And it's so painful to watch. It's almost like when you pet a dog like the opposite way. Like that's what it's like watching Danielle try to navigate her
She's so close.
friendships. Yeah, it's
She's
like
so close,
You're just
but
like
just a little off.
Just stop. Like stop being so like when she told Paige this season, she said, you do nothing for Craig. Like you have to
Yeah.
give him something more. And it's like I think it was on the after show. Paige was like, yeah, if Amanda or Sierra said that to me, I'd be like, oh, maybe let me take a look at that. But like Danielle doesn't know anything about my
Yeah.
relationship, and she's just talking. She's literally flapping her gums at me for what? She's so fucking annoying.
Well, and the other thing that pissed me off even more than after that fight is when Sierra was talking to Danielle said something like, you have to trust that, like, yes, Lindsay's my best friend, but I'm not just going to blindly support her. Bitch, that's exactly what you were doing. I had more respect for you last night being annoying as hell, at least being a loyal blind supporter.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden now because you think the right thing to say is like, well, I'm always going to hear out both sides. You
actually don't.
You actually don't, and you
literally
weren't.
no one wants you to listen to them anyway. Like,
Yeah.
So it's like,
you
at
are
least,
not involved.
At least stand by the fact that you're going to be fiercely loyal, even if it makes you wrong.
Yeah.
At least do that. Now you don't even. What?
No, and in the reunion, she like cries about the drink, and I'm like she makes it so dramatic and like this like intense thing, and I'm like, you guys were having a bitch fight. Like just like fucking take the drink in the face, accept the apology, and get over it. Like she acted like it was like this huge thing. Like if someone threw a drink at me, I'd be like, yeah, you were acting fucking crazy.
I'd be
That's
like,
iconic.
let's go outside.
No, you would drag them.
someone's fucking
I would drag
ass
them
outside.
Paige would
Piss on me. Grab
Grab him by the ponytail.
Oh my god. So wait, you didn't watch the finale?
No, so as a reminder, it's like I watched all of season 8, went back to 1, and then so now I know I have not seen the last episode of the finale, but I will this week.
My like all I'm gonna say about that, since you didn't watch it,
But I've seen
is-
clips.
Yeah, I really don't. I think the Bravo universe, it has to have a team. So if you're not on team Carl, then you're team Lindsay. But for me, I'm like, I think everyone's forgetting how evil Lindsay is in a fight and how she hits below the belt, and so does Carl. I'm not discounting that, but like she keeps saying in the finale, she's like, you knew who I was when you proposed to me. You proposed to this. But like also when you were dating Carl and you said yes, you knew what kind of person he was. Like he's never had like this big career ambitions on the show. That's always been like a wobbly thing for him. And so same thing to you. Like you are trying to change Carl just as much as he's trying to change you. And you guys, all you have is like really good chemistry, but you are opposites on every other thing that matters.
The only thing I have to say about that is, I'm sorry, Carl, but like it is, you can get and keep a job.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And he should. Like, and I do think that if he got a job that was stable, Lindsay wouldn't bitch about that anymore.
I think Lindsay would find something else to bitch about.
Well, and so in that, and I agree with that, but like I think that, and I think my thought is, I'm team, this relationship never needed to happen again.
Yeah.
Like I'm still waiting for that reconnection.
Yeah.
Because they had this whole, it was also so weird that the first time they got together, it was like Lindsay loved that everyone was talking that she was about her getting finger banged.
I know.
Like it was so weird.
It was weird.
They kept saying it and I'm like, okay, relax. And she's like, finger bang Lindsay. And I'm like,
yeah.
Anyways, it didn't work that time. I'm waiting to see how this rekindles.
Yeah.
Because how?
Well, yeah, that's a whole separate issue, but also like I do relate to Carl and not like loving when someone's it feels like Lindsay is attacking him with the way she's asking questions about his career. It's like, oh, well, see, you didn't do that. See, you didn't do that. Like that's what I hear, but that just means like you don't trust your partner and you don't think that that person has like the best intentions for you, because I've been in situations like that where I'm like, oh, this is what I'm doing. And the person's like, well, what about that? Well, what about that? And I'm like, it feels like an attack.
Yeah.
But like when Mr. Roberts asks me questions, like I'm like, oh, this is what I'm doing. He's like, well, did you ask about that? And I'm like, I know he has my best intentions. So I'm like, oh, that's a good question I should ask. Like,
Yeah.
Because I trust him and I respect him and he respects me and I know he respects me. And they don't have that.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
I also think that like that's Kyle and Amanda's relationship too. Like Kyle and Amanda's relationship is so triggering. Both of those relationships are triggering to me because I'm like, you two don't have to have a relationship like this. Like it does not have to be this painful.
Well, that's what I need to know what they are like not in the summer. Like not.
Yeah.
Is it good? Like
Kyle and Amanda are so like, I'm grasping for straws at anything that is good in their relationship. Like Paige was making dinner and just, oh, Paige, Kyle and Amanda are being cute right now. Come, you're going to miss it. You're going to, if you don't see this kiss that happens, you will never know that something good is happening.
Yeah.
And it's so sad.
I think, well, my prediction is I think that they should break up. I think she has equity in Loverboy. If she doesn't, she needs to get that.
Well, that's what interesting because they're talking about the prenup right now.
Yeah, they're talking
okay.
about the prenup and she's saying right now she has nothing. She's not invested in Loverboy at all. Like she's
like legally,
she
legally.
doesn't
Doesn't own it.
She doesn't have any ownership right now. So I don't know how if that
would shake
if
out.
that changes.
Well then, okay, Loverboy needs to get acquired or something, and they need to get paid out, and then she needs to leave him so she can take half of that, and she's going to thrive without Kyle. Like she is such a star. She's gorgeous. She has the best style. I love her style. Everything she wears, I'm like, oh,
She's so cute.
yeah.
I think what really got me for her 30th birthday, he didn't plan anything. They're planning their wedding. Fine. But like he had nothing planned. Paige is saving the day. She books a trip to the Bahamas for them. And then Kyle goes, oh, am I supposed to have a passport for that? I don't. My passport expired. And then so Paige had to cancel the trip. She's like, you almost had it. Like you were so close to being
Paige almost had it. Paige almost saved him because he sees Luke give Amanda a really thoughtful present. And he was like, fuck, I don't have a present. That was when it dawned on him he didn't give.
Luke gave a thoughtful present to Amanda. Like,
He
it's just
is-
like, you didn't even care to
said,
try
"I don't
to,
have anything."
especially when this girl makes your birthday the best party of the year.
Yeah.
And you, for her 30th
makes me
birthday,
sad.
Jade, it was so
I need to
sad.
see their signs.
It was so sad, and that was so telling to me, because him not even thinking to have a birthday gift, like that is how little he cares about her in their actual day-to-day regular life.
Okay, she's born on July 24th, so I think she's like on the cusp of Leo and Cancer. Okay, this is interesting. So he's a Leo. He is like such a Leo. Leos are a fire sign. Leos are the lions of the zodiac. So they like to get along well with the Leo. Like they like their manes to be fluffed.
You know what is almost triggering for me, but not quite?
What?
I don't even know how to say these people's names on here. Lindsay is exactly like that guy I dated's best girlfriend.
Oh,
And then the guy I dated
Britney
is
Spears girl.
just like Carl. They're just
100.
They're just finger banging. They're not boning. We're just friends. We just make out all the time.
Ew, I hate that ex of yours. He is like literally
And that girl.
a walking bag of bones. Like he has no personality.
I know.
He's like
And
Carl.
I dated him for an entire year.
Like kinda.
I know.
he would not claim
Like,
you.
I dated him for a year.
He would not claim you as his girlfriend.
You dated him for a year, but he didn't date you for a year.
But he told me he loved me.
There
I was
we
like,
go.
And then he
What?
was so obsessed, he got a dog that looked just like.
Oh my God. Okay. This is so funny.
He's also a Leo.
He is?
Yeah.
Ugh.
And he had a shower
I like
curtain that was
Leos.
a lion.
Oh my God. Okay. So it's interesting on here because Vanderpump Rules, most of the cast is, a large majority of the cast is a Cancer sign. So Cancers are the crab. They're like, have like that thin shell that's like that tough exterior, like Stassi, like Ariana, but it's easily cracked and it's emotion. Sandoval, Jax, they're all Cancers. This cast is a lot of Leos. Kyle Cook, Amanda, Lindsay, and Hannah Berner are all Leos.
Wait, Amanda's a Leo?
Yes. Yeah, Amanda's a Leo. And then there's also a lot of Capricorns. Sierra and Danielle and Luke are all Capricorns. And Carl is an Aquarius. So, and Paige is a Scorpio because she's a queen. But that's very interesting to me.
That is
I
interesting.
love Paige.
I love Paige too. She's
Paige is
such a
so
star.
She's so cute. She's such a star. Okay, why were they not allowed to say Kristen Cavallari, when they were talking about?
Probably because they didn't want her to sue them.
Because they're allowed to say Kristen, and they're allowed to say the Hills. They're allowed to say like the blonde. Like they're allowed to, like, we all know, and they would just like redact her last name from little.
I need to get custom headphones. I have very big ears. They hurt so bad.
I just thought it was,
These headphones are huge, by the way.
but also
My ears are huger. I have the biggest feet, the biggest ears. You know what they say about
with
big
Kristen
ears.
being a public person too. It's like it was confusing to me that they were just redacting her last name,
Interesting.
but like keeping her first.
Okay, I think we need to move on from Summer House and go to Vanderpump.
Okay.
Did you guys watch the reunion?
Yes.
Yeah.
What did you think? Yeah.
So annoyed.
It was really annoyed. I was kind of like,
It
I
was really annoyed.
I thought it was really annoyed.
Don't call me it.
That's what we called you when you were like in mom's belly.
Yeah, we called you chubby.
Chubby. I thought it was like the producers did Ariana dirty with that last 5 minutes. Like they showed everyone. That was like really, really awkward to watch. Like I almost didn't really enjoy that.
Okay, the thing is, I kind of liked it only because
Having to watch Sheena watch herself.
yes,
Yeah.
like because Sheena is so fake. Like she's so fake. She's gonna say something to Ari.
She's desperate.
She's desperate, but she's gonna say
But she has no like moral. She doesn't like stick her stake in the ground and stand by it. Like she can't like make a
She tells
point.
Sandoval what he wants to hear. She tells Ariana what she wants
Yes.
to hear. And so that's why I wanted her, what's the saying? Like be put to the fire, like
Do a
hell,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
How you say
How do
feet to
you
the
say
fire?
feet to the fire?
Well, and as somebody
She's
like
Danielle.
I'm a Libra, so I'm always trying to see both sides of the situation. Like I can get a little flippy floppy and like things like that. But in my older age, I've learned that like I have to stick by what I say. And like I have to like what do I think is right in the situation? And if you don't have a strong stance, then fucking stay out of it.
Yeah.
She can't.
She can't, but she has to make everything about herself.
Yeah. What sign is she? Did you already say?
She's a Gemini. I'm pretty
Oh.
sure. She's a
Well,
Gemini or a Taurus.
Gemini
Let's
would
see.
make sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
I bet
Right,
she
guys?
has some Libra.
Yeah.
Right, guys?
Yeah. It's funny that you took your
also-
headphones off.
I know.
My ears hurt.
Sheena Shea birthday. Okay, no, wait. She's a Taurus,
Okay.
which is interesting because Taurus are usually like very stubborn, and I feel like they're scrupled people, and I don't know if she's very
She's
scrupled.
has
what's her
zero
rising?
scruples.
Yeah. What?
What's her rising?
I know, that's what we really need to know. But there was another thing that really annoyed me. Okay, there's something that happened that they're not saying. Like, if you're gonna break the fourth wall, you need to break it all
Yeah.
the way. And there's something that happened mid-season filming that they are not addressing on the show, but they have addressed off the show that I think makes more sense to why Lala is so desperate for the show to keep going on. And I think it would give context to a lot of people of like why she reacted so big. And it's because the executive producers came to the cast mid-season and they were like, you guys have got to do something, because if you don't make something happen, the season is going to be a short season and we're going to be canceled. So if you want the show to keep going, you need to have some like, you know, pizzazz. That is why people are watching Vanderpump Rules. And that makes sense why Lala keeps talking about wanting the show to continue. And I feel like they kind of did Lala dirty by like breaking the fourth wall just a little bit and not like fully open, you know? And
Yeah.
I'm not saying I agree with her, but like still that gives context.
I'm like not smart enough to think about things how they actually happen. I just take everything for like what I see.
Yeah.
And I almost respected Lala for saying that she just needed this money and
Yeah.
this is how she makes her livelihood and all that. But I didn't like that it was at the expense of another person that she pretends to care about
Yeah.
for the show, at least.
Well, and it doesn't make any sense why it was so bad for Ariana to walk away. So that last kind of interaction they had, Ariana's like, okay, if we're talking about in terms of the show, me walking away is a better ending than me having this fight, because the fight's not going to go anywhere. And
Yeah.
like I already didn't like watching Tom and Ariana fight, but like she's like, that's a better ending for the show. And Lala's like, well, actually me breaking the fourth wall was a better ending. But Lala would never have that break the fourth wall moment if Ariana didn't walk away. So they both equally gave us a good ending.
And I don't know, you guys tell me, I didn't need to see Tom and Ariana talk.
No.
Like, I didn't want to see it.
Every
I
time
think that
we-
would have been worse.
Every time we've seen them talk this season, I've hated it.
So yucky.
Yeah.
It's not good for anyone.
Yeah.
I want them to at least pretend like they have some healthy life outside of the show.
Yeah. I really like, to me, I like watching the girls band together. That's what's interesting to me, to like watch them like call out the boys on their bullshit. What's not interesting to me is watching Lala and Sheena forgive Tom Sandoval.
100%.
Like, to me, I'm like, why are we?
disgusting.
Yeah. But like, also, I don't want Tom Sandoval to like burn at the stake. But
I want him to disappear. Like
I just want you away.
I honestly find nothing about that human interesting or redeemable. Honestly, like,
yeah, he's
I
not very
think-
interesting to me.
I think that he had his 15 minutes, whatever. Like, go away.
Yeah.
Like, just go live your life karaokeing all around the world. Like,
yeah.
just and that I never have to go see you, like, because I'm not gonna like pay a ticket to watch you like botch a song. Like,
Yeah.
I think that you're not funny, you're not handsome, you're not cool. Like, there's nothing about him that I like.
I really enjoy watching Tom Schwartz though.
Did you see that thing on TikTok about Bailey, do you remember the show Baggage with Jerry Springer?
Yes.
Bailey, Tom
Obviously.
Tom Schwartz was on Baggage.
Oh shit.
Yes, he looks. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've heard of the show.
And he was.
What was his baggage?
Guys,
What?
his
Oh
little
my God, we have to find. I want to
his
watch the
little-
entire episode.
his little baggage was that he smells his earwax, which is disgusting.
What's his medium baggage?
His medium baggage is that he polishes his like hands and toes, which I feel like
That should be
your
That's
little
not even baggage.
That's not even baggage.
That's like a green.
I'm trying to
bag.
remember what his big baggage was. He gambled away his college tuition online.
That is
that's
a big bag.
bad.
And guess what? He won.
Oh,
But
So he didn't gamble it away. He bet. Wait,
no,
won the show?
He gambled away his college tuition money.
oh, and then he won the
The
show.
show.
Oh yeah, he won the well.
I
he,
thought you were saying he won back all the money.
No,
I
he
was like,
won.
that just is good
He
luck.
won the show,
That
as in
sounds
like,
like a good thing.
the girl to like get pushed away all of the other guys' baggage, because like the other guy, one guy was like a pimp, another guy his baggage was like the best, but then when it came to her baggage,
One guy beat his girlfriend. That's
when it came, because
baggage.
then he has the choice, like he learns about this girl's baggage and then they decide if they want to like date or not. And there was 3 things, and the one that he said like he could not, like that would be the worst for him, which was funny because 2 were really bad and one was I've never gone all the way. And he was like, oh, not going all the way would be like the worst for me because like I don't want to take anyone's virginity. And then she opens her baggage and it was I've never gone all the way, and he just started laughing.
That's so funny.
I know.
Yikes.
I don't know if did we talk about Joe's like insane. Oh, Joe on Rachel's podcast. We didn't talk about it on the podcast, I don't think. But so basically some stuff has come out online. So Joe went on Rachel's podcast. It was a nothing burger. You don't need to listen. It was basically just like, she's not over Tom. The thing that I thought was the most interesting was like, I'm not going to get over Tom and I'll only get over him when I start dating someone new, which is like, okay, I've felt that before. Like, you know what? Maybe it'll take someone else for me to get over this person. But the thing that was weird that she said, she was like, and that person has to accept that I'm going to be in love with Tom and he's going to have to help me get over Tom. And I was like, no. That's not what it is.
so
Like
weird.
that stays in your head. Like the other person doesn't need to hear that.
Well, talk about Schwartz on.
So then Schwartz went on Brittany's podcast and Brittany Cartwright and he
Rotten
said,
hail, Brittany.
rotten hail date night.
Beer cheese.
Mammal's beer cheese. You guys have to listen to Sexy and Unique podcast. The way they're always like, yeah, Brittany just wants her date night. When you watch The Valley, like that's literally how Brittany says date night.
That's so funny.
So he went on her podcast and he basically was like, Joe is a compulsive liar.
She's scary.
And she has done some like crazy things that, and of course Schwartz is like, so like a little fish flopping around. Like,
Flippy
just
flop.
tell us what the fuck happened. He's like, oh, I don't want to get into it, but
She just boiled my rabbit.
yeah. He was like, but she is a compulsive liar. She's lied to me about so many things. Like when I was first talking to her about being on Vanderpump Rules, she's like, oh, no, I understand because I used to babysit for your executive producer's kids. And he was like, oh, that's weird. I've never heard that. So he like brought it up to the executive producer. He's like, oh my gosh, Joe told me she babysat for your kids. He's like, I've never met Joe until we started filming Vanderpump. And so that's like a weird thing. That alone is a weird thing. But apparently he's like, I have like 20 instances where she's done that. Another one that was crazy is like, he was like, my sister was obsessed with Joe. She was like, what are you doing? You need to date this girl. Like fully putting her like stamp of approval on Joe. Then she came out to LA and stayed with Joe. He's like for 2 nights. And she said it was the worst experience she's ever had. She had to block Joe on everything. And then she was profusely apologizing to Schwartz saying like, I am so sorry I pushed Joe on you. And so that's like the gist of it. Like
Schwartz
also-
has a sister and triplets.
yeah.
How many of them are there?
5.
Oh.
Wait, talk about the Aaron Rodgers of it all.
Okay. So then Kristen on her podcast said that
Because
the first time
remember
Dodie.
what Joe said when she was on the reunion. She was like, "Oh, Andy, like, can you hook me up with Aaron Rodgers or John Mayer?"
Yeah.
like that would be her guy.
So the first time Luke met Joe, she said that she was Aaron Rodgers' hairstylist.
Joe said that.
And then Kristen's like, I actually know Aaron Rodgers' hairstylist and it's not Joe. And like Luke is like from Colorado, you know, like By the way, Lala said that Luke looks like Sugar Bear from Honey Boo Boo, and like literally
Who
he
is
does.
Luke?
Kristen.
Luke is from the Valley.
Okay. I know Luke from Summer House.
That's fair. That's fair.
And he's from Minnesota.
Yeah, well,
fair.
Luke is from Colorado, and he's like, oh, okay, like she knows Aaron Rodgers, but that was a lie too. Like Joe is just like a compulsive liar.
Those
So
are provable lies.
So Joe
Very
keeps saying
easily
like
provable.
Joe keeps saying like I can't figure out what that one thing that like drove Tom away, because she thinks it's like one instance, as girls do when like, you know, a guy stops liking us. We always think it's one thing, but it's not. He was like, it was basically like a bunch of things that started to pile up, and I just started slowly backing away
Because I'm afraid of her.
but and then she's like, I think she is just like either delusional or whatever, because she's like, yeah, on the show he would take me to these like single nights and we would be like in a relationship. She kept saying relationship, and I'm like, okay, I said yes, they were in some sort of relationship, but like it's not, because he was discounting they were nothing.
Yeah.
Yes.
But she's also saying it was like boyfriend and girlfriend, and that's like the lie.
I also hated, and I think I said this last time, when he said, out of respect for Joe, I'm not going to talk about my new girlfriend.
Because he's afraid of Joe, guys.
Yeah.
That's what I'm like. He learned things, which is why I think he was not able to have like a very solid. Well, first of all, I don't think Tom Schwartz is like good at solid breakups, anyways.
Right.
But even what he is capable of doing, I don't think he felt safe to do that with Joe, because
Yes.
He's like, Katie's scary, but I know how to fight that fight.
Katie's
Yeah.
like truthful scary. Like
Katie's
Joe's
going to tell
like-
you what she's...
Joe's like delusionally crazy. Like she is gonna burn your bunny rabbit.
I did
Boil.
cry.
Boil, not burn.
Boil.
Burn your bunny rabbit.
She's gonna burn your bunny and your
I'm
beer
gonna get
cheese
your bunny.
and your date nights.
Burn your bunny.
Okay. Well, what else is going on?
You just looked so scared. What
else? What else?
What else?
What else could we talk about?
Who else's bunny got burned?
This is turning into a Bravo podcast. Did the sisters hate it?
I hope not,
Probably.
because sorry guys.
I'm bored too.
I actually have like such a bad
I'm
headache.
bored too.
It is yawning.
I have such a bad headache today. Anyways,
Did you drink last night?
a little bit, but not really. But I woke up at 3. Well, the dogs woke me up at 3, and I had. It felt like it was like going onto a migraine, so I took medicine. It did nothing. I woke up. I had a Coke. Did nothing. I took more medicine. I took a nap, and now I'm like drinking a beer to see if I took allergy medicine. Like I'm just trying everything to
Yeah.
see what helps. Anyways, I'm still.
Well, speaking of the dogs, it is June 1st, and so we'd like to say Happy Pride Month to our 2 gay little boys
Yeah.
who are literally straddling each other right now.
I know.
They're so proud.
I know. They are so proud.
I
I'm
feel
so
so
proud of my
happy for
gay
them.
nephews.
I'm
Yeah.
so happy for them.
Do you think Hank's gay?
No.
I think he's pansexual.
I think Hank might be like a little bi. Like
Yeah.
he's like the football player that's like not afraid to just like make out with
He's
like
sunshine.
the I think Hank.
Sunshine.
Yeah, he's literally
He's
sunshine.
Oh my God, he is.
Yeah, because he loves women, but he also loves men. He just like loves people, and he's like,
loves
But he
love.
loves hot people.
yeah, he
Yeah.
just loves hot people. They
Yeah.
have to be hot.
Yeah.
He's
he just
hot
wants
sexual.
to make out with everyone.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
and he likes when like boys like, you know.
Can I say something really gross about Lindsay too? It's just like
Yeah.
how vulgar she is. Because speaking of like bi, like Bailey and I were wondering, we're like, oh, like I wonder if Lindsay's bi, which is like that in like that thought is like fine, right?
Yeah.
She was so vulgar. Somebody was like, have you ever munched a box? And she said, absolutely, I've munched a box, and I got mine munched too.
Ew.
And I was like,
I hate that like
like-
term munch a box.
but like, why did you say it like that? Like,
well, I mean, I think the person who said it first is like the weird one.
but it's like, you could just be like, yeah.
I know, but like,
Like,
why aren't you coming
why-
after the person who's
why
like,
are-
have you ever munched a box?
Because she's like, yeah, I munched a box. It's like, don't
I'll munch
say
a
it.
box
From
right
Florida.
now.
That's her culture. She talks
Don't
like that.
Say that.
You can't hate on Floridians for being Floridians.
I don't know. It's just like, I don't like, I feel like I am like when Paige was like, I don't like saying some of the like sex. I was like, I don't like saying that either.
Yeah.
It's like vulgar.
Unshun. All right. You guys will never guess what we were just talking about.
We were talking so much shit and I was naming names so we couldn't keep it in.
First name, last name. Hey, remember our family friend? Beep.
Yeah, remember this girl I follow that bugs the fuck out of me? Beep. Oh, wait, one last thing. Did you see Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds at Eras Tour?
Yes.
They looked so cute. And did you see the video where they're like, I heard the rumors from Inez. And then they all like pointed at Inez.
That's cute.
Yeah, it was really cute.
Very cute. Very, very cute.
Okay, this listener has like a very specific
Question?
conundrum.
Okay.
And I feel like we could make it a little more general so it could relate to all the sisters.
Okay.
Hey, sisters.
Hi.
Love the podcast, and I'm so glad you guys are back. I have a friend
Yay.
issue that I need some advice on and where to go from here. I'll try to keep the story short. My friend had a birthday about a couple months ago where she wanted to do a brunch and Topgolf in the afternoon and then go out for dinner and drinks later on. First of all, that's like a very long birthday.
Topgolf and what?
So they wanted
Brunch,
to do brunch,
Topgolf, and then go to a bar.
dinner, and a bar.
Yeah. My husband and my sister's boyfriend were not invited to either one, and my sister finds out that my friend let someone else bring a guy whom at the time they weren't seriously dating. At the dinner, the guy shows up and everything is fine until my friend pulls my sister aside to apologize to her for the guy showing up and saying she doesn't remember inviting him, and if she wants, she can invite her boyfriend to meet us at the bar. My husband wasn't invited either, and I didn't get an explanation or an apology from her. I felt so hurt and felt like my friend didn't care about how I was feeling. I want to include that about a year or so ago, we had another issue regarding our significant others with this friend and also felt like my friend cared more about my sister's feelings than mine. My sister and I have both known this friend for a long time and considered her one of my closest friends. However, because of that incident and other issues I've been having with this friend, we haven't really spoken. I don't really know what to do, and I don't know if I'm reading too much into this, but recently I just feel like now my friend doesn't care about my feelings anymore and sometimes invites me to things because she feels obliged to since she's friends with my sister. Please help.
Sounds like you're pretty self-aware. That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
What?
Nailed it.
That the friend invites you because the friend, like this friend is better friends with your sister.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes she feels obligated to invite you because you are sisters, but she cares more about your sister's friendship and feelings than she does you because you guys had a falling out.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Also, like, I think it's really weird to have like a co-ed birthday and then not invite the husband.
Or to have such a strict invitation list.
Well, that's
for
what
birthday.
But
Yeah.
that's what she's saying. Like it wasn't supposed to be like it was supposed to be the girls, and then a guy came. So then the birthday girl pulled the sister aside and said, "Hey, he wasn't supposed to come. Sorry that he did. So you can invite your boyfriend,
but not the husband.
But she didn't say it. She didn't have that same conversation with the other sister
Oh, okay.
to invite her husband. So she was like, that hurts my feelings as it would mine. But it's because this birthday girl cares more about your sister's friendship than your friendship.
It also sounds like the birthday girl thinks her shit don't stank because she's like, I dole out these invites on my own command. And it's like, okay, great.
First, I need to know what the birthday girl's birthday is so I can analyze her astrological
And why
sign.
would you're going to Topgolf? It's not like you're going to a spa or something. Like why wouldn't you want the guys to come?
Yeah. I think it's so weird when people treat their birthdays like a wedding where it's like this enormous event where it's like there's an invite list and
This is the itinerary for 3 separate events for my birthday.
that you guys are all going to be paying money for.
If that were, I think a normal person would be like, okay, this is what I want to do on my birthday. I want to get brunch. I want to go to Topgolf. I want to go to dinner, and I want to go out.
Feel free to join where you can.
Come on, come all. The more the merrier.
Or if
Do
you're
what
like
you want.
Bailey and you're like, I want to go to this specific weird dive bar on UT's campus. And
I will
you guys,
be there. Let me know if you're gonna.
Yeah,
shop.
it's not
or
like-
don't even let me know. I'm already eating, so
No,
you guys
you're
can get here when you get
You're
here.
literally the weirdest fucking person on your
I
birthday.
know.
It's because you guys are like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? It's like
What do you mean? It's like, what do you
I
want to do?
want
We'll
to
plan
eat
it
a
for
hamburger.
you. Okay, a
Hamburger.
hamburger.
If you would have said
I'll give you a knuckle sandwich.
no, if you would have said that you just like wanted us to take care of it and like, oh, I would like to go to a burger place.
Yeah, like I want to go to this burger place. We would be like, okay, sure. And you're like, I'm gonna be here. You can be there too, or don't.
No, what she
That's
said.
like how you.
no, what she said was,
It's because I was at my limit and I was done, and I would have rather just eaten a burger by myself.
But what you said was,
I did have a really good time on my birthday.
You
Thank
said
you guys for being there.
You said
But
that you
at
made
the same time-
reservations. You made reservations for 2 places, and like you might let us know where. Like,
Yeah,
where you were
you
gonna
were
choose.
so weird about your birthday.
Because it was stressing me out.
But it wasn't a stressful situation. We were just like,
No,
we would just like
I
to
was stressed.
but we were literally just like, tell us where to go.
Like, we'll show up.
Or you don't even have to worry about it. We can pick it. Like whatever you want.
Like, sue us. You're our sister. We wanted to like see you on your
Oh
birthday.
yeah, sorry. We wanted to make your birthday special for you. Sorry.
No, I couldn't do that at the time.
I
It
know,
made
that's
it
like-
so much more stressful
You
to
need to go
have to be at a place at a time. I just wanted to.
But you made reservations.
Because you guys were up my butt about it.
You're so annoying. Okay, let's go back to the listeners.
Yeah.
My head's going to fall off.
I agree. I think you're very self-aware. I would just like what?
I'm just laughing.
But I do like if I were you and I noticed the friendship dwindling, then I would just like accept that and kind of like slowly back out of the friendship. Unless you want to try to salvage the friendship, you can be like, hey, like I noticed we are kind of drifting and I miss you. Like, let's plan a girls' night, just you and I. Like, it doesn't have to be some huge conversation where it's like, what's going on here? Like, just try to like get back to where you are.
Yeah. Or just know just know what your friendship is now. Like,
Yeah.
if you care to bring it back, like Jade said, I think that's a really good thing. Or just know that sometimes when it's a bigger thing like a birthday, you're going to be invited, but like you're a different tier friend than your sister is.
It's fine to have C-string friends.
C-string?
What?
Oh,
C-string.
C-string.
Oh.
I thought you said C-string. I was like, what's C-stuttering?
So did these fine to have C-studying friends.
I was like, that's a new word that Bailey taught me. Yeah, I agree. I think one thing about me is like, I think of my friendships, like not in tiers, like, what?
C-studying.
I can't get over that.
Like I think of my friendships like in tiers where it's like I have different expectations for different friends. I think some people have like the same big expectations for all of their friends, and it's not like one person is valued more to me. It's just like, okay, this person is closer to me, so like I have a different expectation of how they're going to show up in our friendship, and you just like knock her down a peg and just like keep it moving.
Especially if it's like a birthday party, those are the stakes. If you want to go to Topgolf and have fun with your friends,
Hell
then
yeah.
go to Topgolf and have
Yeah.
fun with your friends. But
But if you want to go to Topgolf with your husband, do that.
yeah,
want to fight me? Fight me.
just go to Topgolf with your husband right next to it. Just like we're going to show up on Paige's girls trip
Yeah.
that we're not invited to.
I know we're gonna. This was out of the episode, but
Well,
I know.
Paige got invited on her girls trip, and I was like, you know what, Bailey? Like,
You know what? We're going.
Mexico sounds really fun, and we're
A
gonna
mí me
go.
gusta
And then Paige
Mexico.
is like, oh, you're not, you're not invited, and Bailey goes, oh, so they own Mexico? I think we should go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Anyways,
we'll just make all reservations for a table of two, like everywhere they go, and
Yeah.
we'll just be like, seat us right next to that big party over there.
Seat us behind that plant near
Yeah.
the party.
And we'll wear like the glasses with like the nose and the eyebrows
Yeah.
and the mustache.
Yeah. And Paige, carry this microphone around with you everywhere you go.
Yeah, and we'll be wearing these big headphones. So only Bailey will have like a bigger
I'm gonna
size
have
headphones.
double
Wait,
size.
yeah, we need to
to
provide.
accommodate
her
these
big ears.
honkers.
I bet you I could like find some like inserts for those.
Why
I
would
need
she?
less.
She needs less.
I don't want anything inserted. I need
Oh, these
to
are
insert-
huge. These are huge headphones, by the way.
They're not big enough for her.
I know she has
I
huge
know,
ears. Okay, can you read the second story?
Yes.
Wishing you the best.
There's a little bit of like kink shaminess in it, but it's like interesting enough.
On Gay Pride Month?
Not on
all
my
months.
watch.
Not on my watch.
Not only gays are kinky.
Well,
TBD.
hey sisters. I've got
Hi.
a crazy story for you from back when I was young, dumb, and married. My then husband was a serial liar and always talking to other girls through Snapchat, text, Instagram, anything possible. At the time, I would always threaten to leave him when I found out, but I would never actually follow through. So, of course, he just kept doing it.
Yep.
I would periodically go through his phone to hurt my own feelings because I could always count on finding something. He wasn't very good at hiding things. One day, I saw that he had a Snapchat conversation with a girl I barely even knew of. The girl wasn't the problem, though. It was the conversation that was very concerning. They were sending back and forth links to women's underwear. When I questioned him about it, he said he wanted to get her opinion on which ones he should buy for me.
Yeah, sure.
She turned out to be a girl's girl because when I messaged her asking, she told me he was actually looking for women's underwear for him to wear. She said he was embarrassed to tell me, his wife, that he liked wearing women's underwear, so instead they bonded over it. That was just one of many things that made me finally realize we weren't a good match.
Okay.
What kind of underwear?
I know. Like a thong. Like I barely like wearing thongs and I don't have like a wiener.
Yeah, how do you keep it in?
Yeah. Maybe he has like a very small package. No shame. No shame.
I don't know.
Okay. I think you first of all need to get a divorce. Not to
think
like
they did.
I think they did.
Oh, okay, good.
I think she's just like
Problem solved.
I think
she's just
like,
telling us a story.
telling us a story about like you know, here's some of the things that made me realize that like my husband wasn't the one for me.
The funny thing is that like I don't think we truly realize this when we were younger, but like the more we accept shitty behavior, you're telling someone exactly how you should be treated. And she kind of said that. She was like,
I like to hurt my own feelings by
Yeah.
going through his phone.
and that's like one of the things that I learned. Why did you make that noise?
It was an accident, and I like looked, and then I looked at Bailey, and I was like, "Shit."
But yeah, that is one of the things that I wish, like if you are a young girl and you keep accepting shitty behavior, like, you know, knowing this person's cheating on you and you're not okay with it. Some people are like, you know what? He's a cheater. I can deal.
But also, I think another thing as a young person moving forward, that's such internalized misogyny and homophobia for him to have a small kink as wearing underwear underneath his clothes, and he couldn't talk to his wife about it. That's really sad.
Well, I think there's like two things there. Like he had to go outside of his marriage to talk about his kink. Like,
Yeah.
that's a whole like
It's really
thing
sad
of
because there was a
problems.
big shame thing for him where maybe this girl would have been disgusted if he liked panties, but like also maybe not, and maybe he just needed to deal with it. And I feel like that's two things. So you could learn how you want to be treated if you want someone that's a sneaky little son of a bitch talking to like other people on Snapchat and stuff, and also maybe just accept people for
but you
they
don't
like.
also have to accept everyone's kinks. You don't have to like
No.
shame them, but like what if she doesn't want her man to be wearing a
I think she
lacy
should have
thong?
had the information to be able to
Yeah.
decide that.
Exactly. Like she should have at least been in the know. So then she could say like, "Oh, that might be a little too much for me, but like maybe it's okay if you talk about that with this girl on Snapchat." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like something like that. It's like it's weird that in a marriage there were so many secrets to begin with. Like no matter what the secrets were, whether it's about his kink, something else. Like it's just like that's way too many secrets for a marriage. It's like they were never gonna have a successful marriage with all the secrets.
Yeah.
Secrets
you know
make
what?
you sick. You know what they say.
Sounds like she made it out. So
Thank God.
good for you.
I'm proud of you. It's really hard to leave that kind of stuff.
Especially when it's been growing. It sounds like she was just accepting like small problems and then it becomes a bigger problem. That's really hard.
Well, that's kind of what happened to me. It's like you deal like your threshold for dealing with bullshit just like it raises the bar every time because like you're dealing with so much bullshit and then finally you have like this thing and you're like, okay, like now I can't ignore this. Like I've
Yeah.
dealt with all of your other shit.
And now you're choking me in the bathroom. Like shit. Can't ignore it.
And now I think that might be the line.
I think I've been crossing this line. I've been pushing the line further and further away,
Yeah.
and now we just like catapulted over this
Right.
line.
Gotta love it. I know. Men are like they're trash. They really are. I will
Not
say
all
that-
men.
Not all. I mean, Mr. Roberts is like a dream.
Hashtag not all men.
Hashtag not all men.
Hashtag most men.
Hashtag most men. Hashtag just not Mr. Roberts.
Yeah.
Truly.
Mr. Roberts and Mr. Roberts Sr.
Yes. And Mr. Brandt.
Yeah. Dad.
Yeah, we have at
Our
least-
poor dad.
Our poor dad. We have like 3, good men right there.
A few good men.
A few good
Jinx. Wow. That's
And on that, should we end it?
Yeah, I'm about to throw
this
up.
is
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well-
Gotta go, guys.
Gotta go.
Send me
Make
an
sure to
email
follow
or
us.
something.
Send
Your
Bailey
dad
an
at
email.
gmail.com and follow me on TikTok.
Do you have a migraine?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have an emergency. We have a medical emergency.
Oh God.
Bye.
Because the dog. What should we talk about?
Wait, let's all tell our favorite secret about Paige. On the count of 3.
I don't know if I have I can't think of one.
Well, I'll tell you on our Patreon. Half of this episode is going to be cut out because
No, we literally can't even put it on.